Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to another episode of The Folder. I'm your host, Ruben. Hey, it's good to be back on here, guys. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Um, but before I get started on this episode, I just want to thank everybody for listening to my last one. It was pretty good. Uh, it's called Mentorship. So, um, thank you all for listening. But before I start, just want to say, just keep everybody in your prayers out there in, Temple, Texas, Belton, Texas. Had some storms come through, had some tornadoes come through. Did a lot of damage. A lot of people just barely got their power turned on, and this was, it's been like about 4 days. So let's keep everybody in your prayers. That they can recoup and things like that, because it's been a long time since Temple, Texas has got hit by a tornado. Of course, that's my hometown. So, I was born there. Belton's where I grew up. So, let's keep all them in prayer. Um, so today, what I want to talk about is motivation. What is your motivation? I mean, because like sometimes, man, sometimes I wake up in the morning and it's just so hard for me to get up and start, you know, getting ready, or just I get up so slow sometimes, and I start thinking, I'm like, man, what am I getting up for? Why am I making so much effort to get up when, A, B, or C is going to happen, or something else is going to happen, or I've already thought about the day and it's not going to go the way I planned it or anything. And it's just so hard, for me to get up sometimes to just, do things, or, go to work, or if I have some kind of project or anything. It's just hard. Um, but like I start thinking, I'm like, what do I need to motivate myself sometimes to, you know, to get my butt up so I can go do something. And there's a lot of people that are like that too. Who wants to be getting up so early in the morning to go to work, go sweat, or go deal with people, difficult people, or deal with a job that doesn't pay you too well, or things like that. But it's all part of life and things like that. So, what do you do? What can you do to motivate yourself? What I do, I try to give myself a pep talk. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Um, Maybe you do the same thing. Look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and like, hey, you know what? You better step it up today. Today's your day. And we have to do that. We have to do that. So no matter what you do or what kind of work you do or anything, even if you're just like laying down, or you got something that some kind of goals that you want to reach, we have to motivate ourselves. We have to tell ourselves, I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this to better myself. I'm doing this to better my family. You have to motivate yourself. You have to give yourself, something. You have to push yourself. And the only person that can do it is you. Yeah, of course, other people can tell you, hey, man, you can do it. I know you can do it. And it feels good, when somebody says, hey, you can do it, or they back you up and like, hey, man, I support what you're going to do, or I'll be there if you need anything. But yeah, but we have to want it. You have to want it yourself. We have to be our own motivators. We have to be our own pusher sometimes, because nobody's going to do it for you, because sometimes people have their own things that they want to get done. People got their own lives to live. People got their own, or people have their own goals. And I mean, what do? You have to tell yourself, hey, you need to get up. You need to just shake it off. You need to get motivated. You need to get pumped up, and give yourself a pep talk. Tell yourself, you know what, it's going to be a good day. Today's going to be the day that something changes. Today's going to be the day that something positive happens. Today's going to be the day that I get that raise, I get that promotion, or I get that recognition or the acknowledgement and things like that. But it's got to be like positive, not that you want it or you seek it, but sometimes you have to, sometimes it's good to give people praise, to give them rewards, to give them acknowledgement and stuff like that. It doesn't hurt, but just do it in the right way. But you have to tell yourself, man, it's gonna be a good day. I'm not a person that's just gonna be sitting around doing nothing. You're better than that. You got so much knowledge, so much wisdom, and we need to utilize all that. But sometimes it's hard, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, because sometimes I really gotta pull myself. I gotta peel them sheets off of myself. Especially when it feels really good and you're nice and cool and cold in your house, and you just don't want to get up. But then you get up, you go outside, you're like, oh, first thing you do, you open the door. Oh, it's muggy outside. Oh, it feels all humid out here. Oh, I'm gonna be sweating all day. You know what? If you get up and you go outside with that kind of attitude, your whole day is going to be sorry. Your whole day is going to just, be on the negative side, and the rest of the day, it's going to be like you're going to be complaining, and you're going to pick up on other people complaining, instead of going out there, hey, you know what, it's going to be hot, but like I always say, look at the glass half full. Like, man, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to sweat out some of these calories. Or hey, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be walking all the time. Hey, I'm going to get my steps in. Or hey, I'm gonna do this, but make it positive. We can't just be living life, in the negative all the time, because it's number one, it's bad for you. And number two, that negativity, man, you believe it or not, it's contagious. So you're around somebody that's negative, and like you catch yourself being like kind of negative at the same time. Like, why do you want to do that? You have to be that positive. You got to be that positive, like leader. Like, hey, you know what? Don't look at it like that. Look at it like this. Give somebody else a pep talk, because sometimes that's what people need. They need somebody to say, hey, you know what? You're gonna do good today. Hey, today is your day to be victorious. Today is your day for all of this, and you have to tell somebody that. You know, but then again, some people just don't like that. They just want to just leave me alone. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that, and they're just so negative all the time. How are you gonna it's just not good to not be anywhere around them people. You know, I don't know what they need. They need some kind of like positive intervention for, hey, you know what, you need to change your attitude or something. But sometimes it's hard, guys. But you need motivation in your life, and you have to like you need to like wake up in the mornings like, what am I doing this for? Like, a lot of you have kids, like you need to do that for your kids. A lot of you have, spouses and things like that. I need to do this for my spouse. A lot of you have like, a team that's dependent on you. Like, hey, you know what? I got to get up. Some of you have your own business. Hey, man, I got to get up and I got to do this thing, because nobody else is going to do it. You have to do that. Even when things are going so wrong, and it's just, it's sometimes it's sad because people just give up, easily sometimes, and one thing I want to say is that I know, like I talked earlier, there was some storms that came through over here in Temple. And one of the businesses that I push is, a Barbell County Fitness out in Temple with my friend Jason. Man, he put some photos on it, and his building was pretty messed up, but he could have been like, oh, I'm gonna shut this down, this is no good, or no, this is gonna take forever to fix. And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna keep going, man. Like, because like I said, Jason, I love that place because it's very Christian oriented, and he's like, you know what, God's gonna give me something. God's gonna make something good come out of this, and that's what I like. I like that attitude, that positive attitude, and that gratefulness that he has. It's amazing because I read about it on Facebook, and I was like, man, look at this, building all tore up and everything. But he's like, you know what, we're gonna have to close for a little bit, but that's fine, and we're gonna build it up, and it's gonna be something better. And that's what you gotta like. Same thing with all these other businesses. Especially I'm talking about the small businesses, because the big chain restaurants, yeah, there's gonna, some people are gonna be out of work for a little bit and stuff like that, but the parent companies, they're gonna hook them up, and they're gonna get all this stuff, and get repairs so they can start getting that cash flow going again. And not to say that it's a bad thing, to be working or to have a national or even an international business, in your town, but they're going to get it done. But I'm talking about the small businesses that it took blood, sweat, and tears from somebody to, to start it up, just to have it, destroyed or messed up, just in something, something like a storm or, tornado or something like that. But anybody could be like, oh, this is sorry. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to waste my time doing it again. But man, but you know, you know, great job to those that like, what, I'm gonna rebuild this. I'm gonna do it again. It's gonna be even bigger and better than it was because there's something else that God has for me. And like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna talk about God. So, if you don't want to listen to that, you don't have to tune in. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. You're not gonna, you're not gonna do nothing to my ratings or anything like that. So you can listen to whatever you want, and I can talk about whatever I want. But man, Jason, man, I love your story, and I would love, to sit down with you after everything is done, and just to do a small interview with you, and just to so you can motivate somebody else and that was in your position or that needs that motivation. So man, so great job. So, but yeah, it's a bad thing that happened, but yeah, you have to motivate yourself. Sometimes like I get up and especially like I'm still in the military and I get up and I know it's gonna be a sorry day. I already know it's gonna be on for the next day. But you know what? I get up and I was like, hey, you know what? It's gonna be sorry, but I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make the best of it. It's gonna be sorry for my soldiers. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try to make the best of it. You have to. Like I try to make everything like fun as much as I can. I like to joke around. I like to do things just to get people like kind of like, oh, it's not as sorry as it seems right now, even though it is, but I like to get people out of that funk. I like to get myself out of that funk. I'm like, hey, you know what? And I start joking around, playing around, or just keep everybody busy because the you stay busy, the day flies by, and tasks get done, and by the time you know it, hey, you know what? You're done for the day. Go rest, shower up, go to sleep, reset, and get ready for the next day. Because the days are not the same. You wake up in the morning, and you're not guaranteed that it's gonna be the same way that you left it yesterday. It's impossible. Because things happen. Things happen while you're asleep. Things happen overnight. Things happen when when you get in your car and you get to your place of work. Things have already been changing. Whether it's small things or whether it's like large things. And that's all through life. It can be something as small as like oh man, my brake started squeaking or something, to waking up, like on 9/11, like you woke up to something like totally different that was like, wow, this is insane. But that's how fast it can change. And how are you going to do it? I know that sometimes it's really bad, and like I say, motivate yourself, but sometimes life happens and you can't motivate yourself. And that's human nature. It's okay if sometimes, you know, like you're down in the dumps. You're gonna be like that sometimes. I'm not saying that your life is gonna be full of roses and it's gonna be positive all the time, or that it's gonna be like there's nothing gonna be wrong. You're just gonna like fall and bounce right back up. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that after that happens, you have to get back up. You have to motivate yourself to get into it. And I've been listening to a lot of like motivational speeches and stuff like that. And I've been listening to all these people that that just try to motivate you. And of course they're people, they have their own issues and things like that. But when I listen to them, I take from you can take what you want from anything. So I take the bits and pieces that I like, man, this is going to help me today. This is going to help me today. Or this might help somebody else. And and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to impact lives. I don't care if it's just one person that I reach. I don't care if it's one person I reach a year. That's sufficient for me to do that. But I want to, one of the things that I want to do is that I want to impact somebody's life every day. Somebody's life I want to impact every day, and that's one of my goals. It might not be seem big to other people, but it's big to me. I want to impact somebody's life every day, no matter if it's through this, through interacting, face to face, through interacting like through a third party or anything like that. That's what I want to do, and sometimes it's hard for everybody. I'm not gonna say that. Oh, like I wake up and I'm like all positive and everything. Sometimes because I sit here and call myself a liar if I did. Because there's no way that I'm gonna be positive and like just all uppity all the time. Like I'm not like that all the time. But I am the majority of the time. I like to be like, hey, you know what? Boom, boom, boom. Let's get this done. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get this done. And if you're not like that, hey, that's fine. That it's all you, and you control everything that you do in your life. Just like I control what I do in my life. I control the actions. We might not be able to sometimes control the consequences, whether I tell my kids, whether you're gonna have consequences, whether they're good consequences or whether they're bad consequences. Every action has some kind of consequence on it, and it depends on what you want it to be. Do you want it to be a positive, or you want to be a negative? And I love it. So and sometimes I'm down in the dumps, and like my daughter, Maybelline, she texts me sometimes, and she like texts me little like the little, I think they're called gifs or something, or just something that makes me laugh or smile. And that's good, because she's my oldest daughter, and she gave me two beautiful grandsons, and she's old enough, that's my little twin. We have we have the same attitude, and we have the same way that we talk and everything, that we can keep on talking and talking and talking, and until people say, hey, you know what, I gotta go. She motivates me a lot of times, and and I'm happy for that. I love her for that, because sometimes I'm like down in the dumps and stuff like that, and I'm like, man, this day sucks. And then she's like, boom, she sends me something. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. Or sometimes people just they send me a Bible verse, and I'm like, oh man, you know what, I needed that today. I needed to read that today. Or you know, or sometimes you just like out of the blue, you just call somebody, or somebody calls you, or and things like that. Sometimes, my uncle Albert, he calls me like, hey, you know what, how you doing? Or he sends me a text, hey, sure miss you, miss you at church and stuff like that. And man, I'm like, dude, I'm like, that motivates me, and it like, it really touches my heart, when he does that. Or sometimes, uh, you know, Jesse Aranda, he used to be my youth pastor, way when I was way back in the day when I was a teenager, and he's a veteran too, and he sends me, you know, random text sometimes like, hey, hey, fellow soldier in Christ and stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, he's like, he throws a Bible verse in there, and I'm like, man, I'm like, I needed that, and sometimes I'm like so busy, and then I open it up, it's been like a couple hours, I'm like, oh man, I needed that, I needed that an hour ago, but now I got it. But it's good for people to call you or to text you, out of the blue, because sometimes we need that as human beings, we need that. And it's awesome. So if you have somebody that does that, don't like throw them to say, hey, you need to quit doing that, because that maybe they like to do that. Just like I like to do this, or sometimes I like to just be somebody positive to somebody, whether it's one of my soldiers, a kid, or whatever, whatever it may be. Like if I'm at a job or something, like, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you know people are there for a reason, and people are there at the time that you need it. Whether you call it luck, or whether you call it, hey, God sent, that's on you. But I like to believe it as God sent, because you know what, I my life was sucking right now, but you sent me something, and that lifted me up, and it uplifted me, and it motivated me to do something else. That way I couldn't just be sitting there, eating ice cream all day, drinking soda all day, and just, you know, uh, I'm not gonna say whether in a way, because I'm gonna be expanding a little sideways, but but it's good to to have people like that in your lives, whether it's your some of your family members, friends, you know, just go with it. That's all I can say is just go with it. And everybody needs a lot of motivation, especially these days. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Um, the other day, I heard that this sergeant that I got deployed with, back in '04, he was involved in a motorcycle accident, and I wasn't able to attend his funeral, but he was buried this past yesterday, Saturday, as a matter of fact. And just things like that, and it's sad, because there was only like a certain few of us that actually went, and like I don't care who says, you know, toot our horns a little bit. We were part of Texas history. We went out there. I was with Bravo Trooper 124 Cav, and we were attached to Alpha Trooper 124 Cav, and we were one of the first guard units out of Texas to go out there in Operation Iraqi Freedom. It feels good, and it feels good. And we were out there and we did our thing. We didn't lose anybody over there. But it's just like when you get back, like I said, things happen, and sometimes life's gonna get you, but man, you have to stay motivated, and sometimes it's hard, especially when you lose like family members, friends. Man, it's hard, but you have to keep going. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to keep going. And I ask you today, like, what is your motivation? What do you need in your life to be motivated? Do you need somebody to call you? Do you need somebody to text you? Do you need to read something, or do you need to, like, look at yourself and give yourself a pep talk? Like, what do you need in your life? If you know that if you're missing something like that, you know find a good group that you can have, like I know I have a really good support group. I have support groups, I have a really good support groups. Especially in my family, you know, they're 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 really good. Um, and the military gave me, they gave me brothers that man, that we're something else when we're together. But I'm gonna say that for another time, but we've been through it all together, and who else better than to motivate you when you've been through it all. You've seen it all together. You've been together through thick and thin. And when your life is on the line, and your brothers are there to bail you out and stuff like that, you know. But what do you need? You know, if you're missing something, find it. Look within yourself to motivate yourself to get that. You know what? I need to get out of this funk. I need to, and you can do it. You can do it. There's no doubt in my mind that you can do it. So that's gonna be it. Is short and sweet this time, guys. I like I said, just keep everybody in Temple and Belton, the other areas, around there, around here in Central Texas that got affected by those tornadoes and things like that. And we're gonna make something happen. Um, at the end of the year, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna try to do something special. Um, and we'll just see how it goes. But if you have anything that you need to say, if you have any kind of concerns, if you have any kind of questions, if you had any show ideas, you can always reach me at thefolder.podcast76@gmail.com. Again, that's thefolder.podcast76@gmail.com. And now, my friends, it is time for business plugs. So we got Tex American Flooring Co. with Maurice Hernandez. You can reach him at 254-226-1695 for all your flooring needs. He does a carpet, vinyl, luxury vinyl plank, ceramic tile. He does backsplashes. He does it all. Give him a call. Go in there. He'll give you a good estimate. He'll give you a good price quote. He'll do a lot of the footwork for you. And you just sit back and very professional, knows the products, knows techniques and things like that. Just give him a call, and you'll see how Maurice will take care of you with Tex American Flooring Co. Next is Rollaway Junk with my friend Patrick. You can reach Patrick at 254-500-8600 if you have any kind of remodeling, if you bought some investment homes and things like that, and like sometimes you get these homes and they're full of just stuff, they're full of junk that, like, what are you going to do with all this? Well, you give Patrick a call and he'll go out there, he'll give you a price, he'll give you a quote. That way he can take all that stuff out. He'll get his trailers. He'll get it. He'll get help if he needs it, and he'll take that stuff and he'll drive it. He'll go to the dump and he'll do all that stuff. You won't have to lift a finger. So give Patrick a call and sit down with him and have a little chat, and you see how Rollaway Junk can make everything happen. The next person you can have is if you want some good barbecue, you can call Even Though Barbecue with Juan Manuel Perez out there in Abilene, Texas. You can reach him at 325-333-3292, or you can email him at mailman, MELMAN, 63002 at Gmail. And I'm gonna tell you what, this guy, he will cater for you. He's catered quinceañeras, weddings, graduations, and things like that. So if you're ever in the Abilene area or you need something catered, just look him up on Facebook. Even Though Barbecue. Here we have Barbell County Fitness with my friend Jason. You can reach him at 254-217-1304. And if you want to get fit, if you want to do anything like that, he's got great setup and things like that. You can give him a call. He'll get you fit. And what I like about Jason is that not only is he going to get your body fit, he's going to get your soul fit. Very great place to be and everything like that. So you can look him up on Facebook and give him a call. Next, we have RPG Outdoors. You can follow them on Facebook. RPG makes their own kind of artificial baits. They make everything, all kinds of different designs, colors, flavors, and things like that. But one thing that I like about RPG is that they also help veterans out. They go ahead and they take veterans fishing. They have a lot of different programs they can use. So if you want to do that, if you want to set something up, with some of your company, or a group of veterans that wants to go out, that just give them a call. Follow me on Facebook. It's called RPG Outdoors, and then you can follow that, and then you can get into contact with them, and they'll be able to hook you up. So give them a call. Then on the list, we have Dynaclean out of Temple, Texas with my friend Lewis. You can reach Lewis at 254-771-3402. You can reach Dynaclean for all your water mitigation needs, your carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning. He does, smoke, fire and smoke restoration and things like that. Great, knowledgeable guy. He'll go out there and he'll give you a quote for anything that you need. He'll put the numbers together for you. And believe me, you have any kind of question, Lewis knows about it. Lewis is a master cleaner, master technician, and he's got all that stuff under control. So if you want to go ahead and give Dynaclean a call, give him a call. Once again, it's at 254-771-3402 for all your water mitigation and cleaning needs. All right, everybody. So that's it for business plugs. So I appreciate everybody tuning in to this. Thanks for everybody that's listening to me out there in Belton Temple, Texas. Lonnie Northmore, of course, my best friend Lonnie. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for the VSOs out there in Bell County, veteran service officers that listen to me. Thank you, Maybelline Miha, for putting me out there. To your team, I said what's up, and it's great. If you guys need anything from the VSO, you can just hook me up with the email that I sent you earlier. And if you know veterans that need help, give me a shout out, give me a call, give me an email, and we'll get you hooked up with the veteran service officers over here in Bell County. And if you're from another county or something, or another state, hey, I'm sure we can find it too. So we'll get that underway too. So without further ado, I thank you. I bid thee good night. Remember, everybody, stay 80s, and God bless.